Builders are changing their contracts. Let's have a look. Good evening, everyone. Florian here, and welcome to another episode of HeiseSays. Grab your stein of coffee, because we've been discussing the construction apocalypse for some time on the channel here. Builders are going under left, right, and center, sadly. And a big part of it is the fact that everything's getting more expensive and they're struggling to get projects finished. Any profit they had gets eroded away, but they're stuck with their contract conditions. They can't pass those material costs or those inflation-driven costs on to their clients. Well, it's starting to change. Let's have a look at this article, which is discussing at least how builders are changing their contracts. And what do you reckon? You think they're making it easier to pass on costs? We'll have to see. I haven't read the article yet. So, builders rewrite contract terms as failures hit the sector. Okay. So, most of Australia's builders expect revenues to rise this year as they put in place new contract conditions to help fend off challenging construction conditions. The embattled building industry has been blighted by a series of collapses across volume home building, high-rise constructions, and civil works companies. But the industry is reacting, with more than half, 51.6% of respondents to professional services firm RSM Australia's 2023 Property and Construction Report implementing new terms to combat the delays in delivery and price escalations. The report found that tender timeframes are dropping from 6 months to just 60 days. Builders are using longer contract terms, fluctuating rise and fall price contracts, and putting caps on weather and inflation risks to protect their operations, RSM National Leader of Property and Construction, Adam Crowley, said. Construction firms should be taking the necessary steps to draft contractual clauses that allow for time delays in sourcing materials without penalties, while better managing cash flow and sourcing of materials they use regularly, he said. I mean, these are issues that a team should identify during the construction process, isn't it? The PM should be highlighting that, and you should be working with the builder to make it help it all come together, and maybe even consider some alternative materials that they could put forward. You never know. But these are the challenges. But then again, if you got a hard son of a bastard as a client or a PM that's really just squeezing just going hard on the contract, you need to have these conditions in place to protect yourself. This makes a lot of sense. I wonder if the professional organisations like the HIA and master builders, if they'll start making amendments to their contracts to allow for this. That's going to happen next, isn't it? Implementing and understanding the systems, processes and procedures and technology available to construction businesses will also mean any potential issues are identified early, allowing operatives to pivot or renegotiate before running into financial difficulties, he said. The move has come following a tumultuous 12 months for construction companies after lengthy delays, cost increases, and labour shortages, creating the pressures which drove the collapse of several large home builders, including Porter Davis, Oracle Homes, and PBS Building. Interest rates are expected to pose the most significant risk to business operations and revenue forecasts this year, with concerns over rising material costs and unpredictable weather appearing to persist. But despite the seemingly gloomy outlook, almost 3 in 5, 58.1%, business leaders believe their revenue will rise in 2023. Challenges have compounded from interest rates to major cost increases for shipping, fuel and materials, plus continuing chronic labour shortages and supply chain issues, and one of the wettest years on record. While the challenges are immense, there are actions businesses in this sector can take to protect themselves, and there are definite growth opportunities in 2023 for those prepared to innovate and diversify their operations, he said. Earlier this week, Hutchinson's boss, Scott Hutchinson, said construction firms needed to ensure they were working with trusted clients and subcontractors to survive. There is strong demand for property, with builders struggling to keep up with supply, trade material shortages and costs exacerbated by the impact of COVID-19, Hutchinson said. Ironically, in these boom times, many builders slip into negative profit territory as the rising cost of labour, product and services on fixed price contracts presents a real test for the builder's management skills, a test at which some have failed. This is where we have the profitless boom. You know, where you're just going gangbusters, you got all this work on, but you're not making any more money. I remember, you know, as a young architect talking to you know, my boss at the time when I was a student. His firm had gone from 12 people to like, I think 70 people or something, 60 people at the time. And he said from 12 to 30, he made no extra money, no extra profit. It's just more costs and growing. It's the challenges in business, guys. Mr. Crowley said, there was little fat in anyone's budget to make a misstep or blunder. Leading construction companies are prioritizing their communications and interactions with clients, providing transparency around financial risk, and partnering on joint venture transactions and developments, he said. RSM Australia surveyed 40 leading property builders, developers, and investors in April for the report. So there we go, guys. Builders are rewriting contract terms. Let's have a bit of a talk about this one. Now, I can't say any of us are at all surprised that this is happening. I'm just waiting to see, well, the resi spec builders try and make changes. They're going to have to lobby for it because there's a lot of restrictions on their interactions with the residential market. We'll have to see, guys. What do you reckon? As always, let me know your thoughts and opinions. Have you made changes to any of your terms and conditions in your contracts because of the last few years? How much are lawyers charging? Maybe, ours are pretty good. Maybe I need to get an update. Anyway, guys, thanks for watching. Check out Heise BIM or Heise Does if you want to see other content I create. If you want to support the channel, you can on YouTube or Patreon. Use our referral links, buy Pocket Squares, or call us if you need an architect. Take care. Have a great day. I'll see you all in the next episode of HeiseSays. Bye for now.